Hello, welcome to another episode of the Diaspora Spotlight. This is the Kenya Diaspora Media, and I'm your host, Maria Njoroge. Today, I have with me Lucy Wang'ombe from the United Kingdom, but her roots are traced back to Kenya. She's here because she has plans that I would like her to share with us today. Well, welcome, Lucy on set.
Thank you very much for having me.
Where do you come from in Kenya?
Well, I was born and brought up in Embakasi East, Nairobi. So that's my roots.
So you tell your child I'm going to Shago in Embakasi.
Yes, but we're from Maranga, Kiharu constituency. So, but born and brought up in Embakasi. But my home is Naivasha.
Okay. So where do you currently reside?
With family in Embakasi, in the area when I come, but in UK, I'm in Basingstoke, Hampshire.
Oh, wow, nice. So you come back to Kenya often?
I do, obviously to see family and also to try and settle back. I'm trying to dip my foot back into Kenya and also for my charitable organizations.
Okay, that's definitely a story for another time. We do love it when people go out there, seek greener pastures, and come back. So the interesting thing about Lucy that brings us to this particular episode is because of the charity work that she does in the United Kingdom and the amount of impact that she brings back to the community. However, every story has a why. So how did we get here?
Well, the charitable foundation is called Service for a Reason. We actually founded it in Kenya. In the UK, March 2022, then July of 2022, we brought it to Kenya as well to found it. And consequently, we are having our event here in August of 2026 because we tend to try and do one event in the UK, one event in Kenya. So we had our last 2025 October event in the UK. So this year it's in Kenya. Because I'm Kenyan born, so I want to be helping the Kenyan people and give back to my community in Kenya. So hence the bridging the gap between UK and Kenya.
In Kenya. So because I know that your story is very personal and it was a charity event that you just sat down and decided, let me start this. There had to be a reason as to why you saw this as important.
My son Daniel was born in 2011. And we got the diagnosis of Down syndrome at birth. So a bit of a shock to the system. But I thought, why not? Embrace the new normal as it were. So so out of that, it led to me obviously quitting my job to look after Daniel and also then starting my own business, which we'll talk about, and also 2022 I thought go back to 2020, everybody working from home. I thought through media interviews I'd seen of Kenya, people being interviewed, mothers with children with disabilities, and I thought, oh my gosh, the situation is dire. And I thought, okay, I'm okay with Daniel in the UK, we're getting support. But what about Kenya? Born and brought up in Kenya. And that resonated with me. And I thought, I can do something back in my community. But as a one-woman band, it's a little bit difficult. So I spoke with my friends and I said, I'm thinking of helping back home. What do you think? They said, come and, visit and see what you think. So hence I came for the Christmas 2021, met the people I had seen, I'd contacted them, I'd seen on Tuko Talks with Lynn, interviewing them. So I then from there came back and saw the need was very great. Came back to UK and decided, right, let's run with this baton and give back to the community.
Well, that's a really nice summary. However, I want us to go back to that particular moment where, you were expectant and then now here comes a bundle of joy and the doctor tells you, well, this and this is happening. He has Down syndrome. What was going through your head in that moment?
Well, I'm full of gas and air that particular moment after pushing labor all night. And I actually remember because my husband was there in the UK. People are, a husband and wife are in the delivery room. And he's asking, the midwife startled a little bit and he's asking, what's wrong? Obviously, they cannot tell you without the doctor confirming. So they went out, the midwife, the assistant, and the husband, because they told me, the midwife then said Daniel had swallowed meconium, so we need to go and prepare him and whatever, whatever. And then a while they came back, and doctor came and said, unfortunately, and that's all I had. That's I remember. A lot going through my mind. So I thought, well, a child is a blessing and this and that. So all I said to them is, give me my baby. And and we did the skin to skin.
Yes.
And because right here we are, unfortunately, no, but a child is a blessing. I'm not going to ask God why. And I just thought, you know what? It is what it is. Shocking. My husband obviously is shocked too, fell apart.
I can imagine.
And I'm thinking, Down syndrome, how did I tell my mom in Kenya? What is Down syndrome in Kenya?
Doesn't even have like a Kikuyu name.
Doesn't have a Kenyan name, does it? But lucky for me, my sister, she had just come to help me. She's in the NHS there, the National Health System there. So obviously she would understand. So she'd come and she ended up staying with me 2 weeks because Daniel ended up being neonatal for 10 days.
Okay.
So it was a thing because jaundice and so a lot happening in the neonatal. Again, it's dramatic with children with tubes everywhere. So bad, really bad. But by God's strength, well, I pulled through. It's a journey. It's a journey, and everybody has their own journey as a mother, as a father. Everybody walks the journey their own way. So for me, in those 10 days, I just said, you know what? Just bring my Bible, Joy. Say to my sister, just bring my Bible because it's too big a thing. And then whoever gives these children to you is the one who can handle. So I said, God, deal with it because it's a lot. I'm healing from giving delivery, life-changing information. We don't know if this child is going to survive as well. A lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Lucky for me, Daniel's consultant that came on shift that day, unbeknownst to me, has a child with a disability. We see how God works in mysterious ways. Our neighbor asked us, who's your consultant? I mentioned the lady and she said, oh, do you know she has a disabled child, her firstborn? And I thought, wow. So we actually bonded as parents with children with disability, and she plugged me into all the networks. So there's a Down syndrome group that's called Stepping Stones for our region, Hampshire. And it was started by two ladies whose girls who had Down syndrome again. So that has been our community ever since Daniel was born. So lucky for me being plugged into all these support networks, which is very important. As a new parent, as a new mom, yeah, you need all that support. And fast forward, actually, our Down syndrome director then for that has now become our MP for our area. And she actually was the one that came to open our charity in UK 2022 March. So you see how God works in mysterious. Yeah, everything is intertwined.
So we've had this baby in 2011. Of course, there's a whole 10, 12 years before we decide, okay,
Yeah.
I see a gap here. I feel like there's something I can do. What's happening in these 10 years?
So 2011, I took a year out maternity.
You can take 1 year?
We can take 9 months. Then I added 12, another 3 unpaid, just so I can spend time with Daniel. It's a new normal.
Yeah, sure.
And then I went back part-time, 2012, 2013, 2014 I resigned. It was also too much juggling and I was traveling a lot. My professional job was in vocational training, TVET. I was teaching at a college. Then I I enjoyed traveling, but with a young baby with disability, it was too much with all the phone calls, baby sick. And so 2014, I resigned.
Oh.
And tarmacked 1 year. And God opened the doors for me. I was able to open my business in 2015, 10 years, Tidy Time Services.
Okay.
And 10 years on. So that Tidy Time Services too, I opened it to allow me the time to have a hospital appointments with Daniel and this and that. And also, I thought, we have also the statistics in the UK, only 5% of us children in young adults with learning disabilities are in employment. So that's very low. And I thought, who is going to employ my Daniel in 10, 15 years' time?
10 years, yeah.
So I had to make sure I started a business. Well, failure was no option.
So that you could accommodate him in the next few years to come.
Well, I had to employ him. The
Wow.
statistics are 5% are only 5% in the UK
Are in
in
employment.
employment, with disability, learning disability. Who is going to employ him? So my business was not a failure. It was never going to be a failure. Come rain, come sunshine, whether I'm sick, whether Daniel is sick, I have to go because I have to build that business. And now Daniel is finishing grade 11 this September. So then he'll be looking for work, won't he?
He will.
If he doesn't go to, well, he started work experience. And then, I thought, why not help other people? Because at the end of the day, yes, I've got a business, but what about other families that don't have? So we branch out to something now to do with the charity, which we call Horticulture Therapy.
Yes, oh, nice. I will ask about horticulture therapy. However, I realize that there is some positivity and a lot of optimism, even as you speak about Daniel and children that are able differently. Has it always been like this?
I think it's growing up. My mom had 9 children.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm one of 9, 5 boys, 4 girls, and she always had business. My dad worked at the Jomo Kenyatta Airport. My mom was always in business and politics. So she had her strong faith in God because with 9 children to go to school and all that.
That's
in Nairobi.
In that era.
And we all went to school, and then I went to the UK for my studies. So strong faith in God because how else can you survive major times, major trauma by the grace of God? And positivity, it's a fine line between positivity and negativity. It's a state of mind. You choose to be pity parties. I don't do pity parties because you can either be down. I could have just said, oh my God, why me? Why me? But the children are a blessing from God. There are people looking for children that cannot have children.
And you just embraced it.
I have a child. Yes, born differently, but I have a child nonetheless. Someone else would have wanted that child. Someone else has lost a child. Someone else, we would just speak, someone that lost 3 children in December in Kenya.
That's quite unfortunate.
You see? So be positive and embrace, wherever. And life is full of ups and downs. So, don't stay down. Don't stay beaten because we all have something we can be grateful for, can't we?
So now that you're trying to integrate Daniel into, work, does that mean like when you're having those meetings with those people in the community, you encourage them to also push their children to, seek employment, work with their talents?
It comes down to, everybody has potential. Whoever we are, differently abled, which takes me to, like when we have the Olympics and we've got Paralympians in wheelchairs winning gold medals, but we are sat at home, able-bodied, clapping for them. It took a lot to earn that gold medal in a wheelchair or within the disability. So someone could have written that person off, but they came home with a gold. But you're sat at home clapping for them. And you could have done a lot better. So you see, it's about pushing yourself. And I believe as a person, I mean, even an A grade student, I always say, if they're not pushed, there'll be a C student, right? So even if you're a C student, you can still be a B or an A with, because everybody has potential. So that's how I push myself, and I push my Daniel. I don't see Daniel as different. He's my only child. So he can eat Kenyan food. That's how I grew up eating Kenyan food. So he knows ugali with his hands. Because life is life. I cannot keep him hidden in the house.
No, you cannot.
And he needs to learn life. This is normal. I'm not different. I'm a human being with every right to be walking the streets just like anybody. I might look different,
but I'm still a person.
I'm still
looking at the United Kingdom. I feel like maybe there's more information and a lot more support and resources for children that are able differently. How does that translate when you bring him to Kenya, even for visits and vacations?
Obviously, Kenya, where it's a work in progress, but we're getting here. And we've got the likes of Senator Sige, Crystal Sige. So she's passed something in Parliament. So Kenya is evolving, and Africa as a whole. So we are getting there, and we need to champion and get to mashinani. Because yes, Nairobi. I've got a friend of mine I went to uni with in the UK. She came here. She's got a child with Down syndrome, so she relocated back in Kenya. So I know that the charity organization is called T21 Foundation, and it's very big. And she's the chairperson now, Penny Kiringa. So she's doing a fantastic job getting to all over. They've got cells in Nakuru, in Nairobi, in Mombasa. They're doing well. But I'm also working closely with cerebral palsy. Smile for Neurodiversity is a group I helped Caroline Emoyo set up because her child has that. She's one of the ladies I saw being interviewed, triple text, and I phoned her, and she's lost her husband, so she's a widow with a child with cerebral palsy. And I said, I don't know nothing about that. Why don't I help you start the charity like I started mine to help your community? And then I know another lady that has children with autism. So in that way, if they join hands with me, I'm just an umbrella for all of them. But my affiliation is with Down syndrome. But I help everybody within that service for a reason. Yes.
So looking at the kind of challenges that, you can see firsthand what your son is going through, and you translate that to a larger scale. What difference is service for a reason making both in the UK and in Kenya? Something tangible.
Like I said, our lucky for me, our Down syndrome director then became our MP in 2024. So just as I'm lobbying my MP in Embakasi East, Babu Owino, because I'm looking to help set up a vocational training center in our constituency, I'm going back to lobby my MP, who obviously has as our former director in Down syndrome, and asking about our 5% figure. The statistics are low. What are you doing about it? Another 3 years, my Daniel will have finished A-levels. Where are those jobs? The 5% I've been asked, I was asking my former MP, and it's been stagnant so I'm lobbying the UK and I'm lobbying Kenya too. The MPs. So without the policies being changed, without the likes of Crystal Lasige, Senator, we cannot get far. We need government to help us too. As a one-woman band, I couldn't do it. That's why I formed the charity to then work with other families.
Okay.
Yeah.
So say a parent has called you and told you, hello, Lucy, I've just got the diagnosis, this and this is happening, and I've seen your organization, please help this.
Signpost, like I said, I'm an umbrella for any people with disabilities, because in Kenya, I know I can signpost to Down syndrome, T21 Foundation. I can signpost to autism. I can signpost you to cerebral palsy. Are you in Nairobi? Are you in Mombasa? Are you in Mashinani? So let's first get the word going, helping not just Nairobians, up country too. Turkana, Isiolo, Meru, Nairobi, Mombasa, everybody needs help. So That's how the organization. So first we just signpost to give information, but also the things like wheelchairs, like Caroline Moyo, working with also different, say, with the Rotary Club in Nakuru, helping those people in Nakuru. Every little helps. Every little helps.
So for the past years that you've been doing this, I can say there has to be maybe a person or two that you feel the organization really came through for them. If it's a simple story that you can share, tell us about maybe a name or just someone that you feel like they came to you and you did something.
Well, a lot of people are helping. Like I said, the Rotary Club. I think it's Rani that is working with Caroline a lot with the cerebral palsy group. And then 2025, I believe, we opened Smile, a neurodiversity. We opened Smile training center in Kawangware with the help of Safaricom Foundation. They donated sewing machines, so that we were obviously very grateful for that. Renting a church space so we can have that for when the mothers of the children with disability can do something, those that do beauty, which is why I want to go and actually have a building of a training center so that we got our own permanent place. Because the mothers of these children cannot leave the children. It's hard work because they cannot leave the children with someone to go and look for work. Maybe the husband has also left them. It's hard. But if I can offer them an opportunity to train as a hairdresser or a vocational course, and Kenya right now is hot on TVET. So that's good. Not everybody can go to university, or not everybody should go to university, but they can work with their hands and photography, mechanic, hairdressing, nails and beauty. So then those women can also, those parents can then go and set up their own micro businesses to help the families.
Oh, wow, that's a really nice thought process, and I hope it all comes together. So there's usually a lot of stigma about children that are able differently. And I know sometimes you take time to even share the news and tell people, well, this and this is what happened to my child. Is that something that you went through, or even find people in your group?
Like I said, it's a journey for everybody. But once you accept it, it's not the end of the world. When you get the diagnosis, yes, it is shocking, depressing.
You will
it's not the end of the world.
It's your child.
But acceptance takes time. Mine might take 1 year, yours might take 5 years. But just know it's not the end of the world.
Yes.
The sooner you accept, the sooner you can start dealing with how to help your own child. Because you can be plugged into that group. You can be plugged into that group. You find out the mothers are like, oh, so I'm not alone.
Yeah.
So those, and the reason why I'm really wanting to reach mashinani is the stigma is
it's quite heavy.
Yeah, it's quite heavy in those areas.
So,
in the UK, we're good. I mean, I talk to everybody, even if I go to holiday, say if I'm in France or whatever, see another Down syndrome person. Oh, hello. Because it is what it is. We are Down syndrome family wherever we are, all over the world. So don't treat anybody differently. You see a child acting up, if they've got autism, it's too hectic for them. Calm them down. Don't shun them. People shun people even in church. They don't. But they're supposed to be embracing these people in places like churches, schools. That's my big issue now in Kenya. Where are the schools for these children?
No, they have to go to their own particular school.
But why? They're a human being like anybody. It's a human right, education, which is why I'm lobbying my MP in Kenya.
Get a school.
Because I'm in education. That's my professional background. But it's a right of every child to have an education, able differently or not. So that's why we are asking even the government here, where are those schools for our children with disability? Who's our minister for disability in Kenya?
You need representation.
We've got Crystal Asige, senator, and she's done very well passing a bill, though obviously she needs support. She cannot work on her own. So we need the government involved in this. So our own MPs, lobbying our own MPs. So the stigma, the more we are spreading the word, the more we are working, the more the government is helping us, the stigma will die down.
Yeah, I think with the right information, people being told that it's just,
It's not catching, it's not
communicable.
It's not utashika Down syndrome.
Like
By
if you
sleeping
say,
with my child.
with the child, you're good.
Yes.
Okay.
You're good. You're good. You're not gonna get cerebral palsy from greeting a child who is disabled in a wheelchair. No, that is, unfortunately, it is difficulties with birth, lack of oxygen. But I'm not a medical professional, but I kind of know a little bit about that. That if you lack oxygen in the brain, a lot of things happen. Cerebral palsy is one of those. So it's not like utashika kama homa.
Oh wow.
So
being all part in.
We need to be open-minded. We need to embrace these people in our churches, in our schools, in our communities, and even as neighbors, streets. Yes. Some people maybe are ashamed to tell that the people they work with, my child is disabled. Own it. Own it. From my professional background in hospitality and customer service, we used to say, own the problem, move to damage limitation, and then keep the customer happy. Own the problem, own the situation. Your child has a diagnosis. So what? Work with your child. You can't hide your child.
Not forever.
Anybody else? Why is the child looking different? Yes, they were born with autism. They were born with Down syndrome. It is an extra chromosome. Educate them, because once you know your child has a diagnosis, you now become more interested in finding out. So you also become an expert of
a researcher.
You do.
I'm sure if I asked me anything about Down syndrome, you're an encyclopedia of sorts.
Not me as such, but I know people who are. I know what helps me and my Daniel.
And you say every child is different, and what worked for you might not necessarily translate to another.
But what is normal? What is normal? You're different to me.
Yeah.
You're different to your siblings. So we are all different. Even as siblings, I'm one of 9. We're all totally different.
Can imagine. So looking at all these, it all comes down that I know we have an event in August for the charity, and it's going to be held in Kenya. Actually, I look forward to that.
Yes, we launched in July 2022. And that was a success because it's all African attire and the vibrancy of Africa. So we're trying to pick that and also spread the word and also to get our mothers with children with disabilities or the parents with children with disabilities come out wanajiachilia kidogo, to make them not feel forgotten. So yes, so this year our annual event is going to be in August of 2026. It's going to be in Kenya. Last one was UK October. October is our Down Syndrome Awareness Month. March 21st is World Down Syndrome Day. Yeah, March 21st. So that's me and my Down syndrome side of it. But obviously, cerebral palsy, they have theirs. Other people have, autism, they have their days. So I will bring ours to Kenya in August. We are hoping also to come with visitors from UK charitable organizations as well. Also in the field of the disability side, so they can enlighten us as Kenyans how we do things differently. Having parents as speakers as well, have their take. So it's quite an eye opener. But also our focus is also to build this school in Kenya. Maybe not just one, maybe different regions within Kenya, and then Africa. Once we've done Kenya, then help Uganda, help Nigeria. So,
but it has to start from somewhere.
It has to start. So, but for me, charity begins at home. So it begins with my Embakasi East constituency. So, yes, so I'm lobbying my Embakasians all over the world, wherever they are, New York, Europe, London. Come home, come home, come home, come home. Let's give back to our community. Kenyans all over the world give back to our community, from Australia, everywhere. I know I've got people I went to school with. They probably will see this, and yeah, that's my new normal now.
Is it too early to invite them? I know it's in August. It seems a little.
No. It's, we in Europe, in diaspora, we close from June, July. So we start our summer holidays. So hence August, everybody all over the world would have closed. So come one, come all. All details will be on social media in due course. Hence why I'm in the country now, to finalize a tie up loose ends. And then, yeah, we are going to be hot on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, everywhere.
And
The place to be is Kenya this August.
August. You can also follow the Kenya Diaspora Media for updates on the same. Look at what you're up to and look at what they're up to. And we definitely love it when a Kenyan comes back home with such a great vision and looks forward to building the economy and even making the world a better place. It's a story that started with just one child, Daniel, but it's something that has grown into a vision, something that has grown deeper. And as she goes out there and seeks the support and the lobbies, we do hope that, people meet her with open doors, listen to her idea, and come August, let that vocational college actually come to life. So looking at it, you mentioned something that you do, and I would like us to just circle back to that before you conclude horticulture therapy. I've just remembered it, and I think we can say
Horticulture therapy, my husband trained in horticulture. And actually, when Daniel was born, he was working for an organization, charity organization that employs and trains people with learning difficulties in working with their hands, like gardening and horticulture, all things horticulture. So then they can get a qualification, and then they also get work experience, and they get paid too. And I said, oh, so what is that? So he explained. I said, okay, seeing that I know nothing about gardening and all that, but I'm sure we can get land in Kenya and start that as, help Kenyans, because not only just help those with a disability, help those in the community, and help those with mental health issues too, because nature is therapeutic. Because since COVID, a lot of mental health issues all over the world, and our young men or young people, affected by mental health issues. But if we can do this horticulture therapy, which is, I know someone who's been working with, like, in the past, injured soldiers through gardening therapy. So it helps all sorts of people. It's like a rehabilitation. So we are using the land to help people connect with nature, gain a skill, connect with other people, help the community, as it were, because we're growing stuff on the land. They're learning as it were, gaining a skill, looking at this TVET now, which is the conference I'm coming to attend, the first time Kenya National Qualification Awards conference. So combine that with TVET, get your certificate as well, and get a skill. And you can also get your own shamba, small holding or whatever, and get on with it.
oh wow, that sounds really fascinating.
So because land is easily available in Kenya, we start with that as a blueprint. Then we'll take it to Europe, to the UK, lobby the MP, work with the local government, getting land, and then we help those people in that community too. So it's all kind of intertwined.
Well,
Yeah.
I've learned something new today. Daniel sounds like such an independent person. I think if you didn't mention to someone that they have Down syndrome, they wouldn't really be able to tell.
No,
How do you
Daniel is
guys have
so
kind of
vibrant. I
independence?
think Daniel takes mom's personality. As you know, Lucy's, I talk a lot. Anybody that knows Lucy, they know Lucy's not quiet. So Daniel is a Kenyan. He loves, enjoys being in Kenya and the vibrancy of it. And like I said, I just brought him up as a normal child, I know no different. So to me, if disciplined, get disciplined. Homework, you gotta do your homework. So you chores, you gotta tidy up your bedroom. So let's not mollycoddle children.
That's it.
Because they have a disability, let's not wrap them in cotton wool. No, that's not my policy. Live life. live life. Yes.
Oh, wow. So what should you tell a mother today that, is starting out on this journey? Because your son is 15 years. It's been 15 years of, trying it out, and it sounds like it's working.
Well, it's not working. It's just a work in progress because day by day we're learning. But it's not the end of the world when you get the diagnosis. Yes, it will be shocking. Yes, it's painful. Yes, it's depressing. Dust yourself up. Get up. It's not the end of the world. From me, if I didn't have Daniel with a disability, I would still probably be employed. I quit my job and I ended up with a business, and it's 10 years on. It's grown. So that's a positivity out of that. Daniel too can come and work with me and other people. So it's not, God has a reason for everything. So for me, maybe this is my reason. It was for such a time as this,
Yeah.
the advocacy. 15 years on is now sinking in. It was so I really actually want to give up my job now, my business with the managers, and then focus on
The child.
advocacy.
Oh,
So it was probably for such a time as this.
as this. I'm really glad that you found a silver lining on top of all this. And I really hope that every parent that has listened to us today that has a child that's able differently can begin looking at life more positively and embrace their child as just a child. Just look at whatever else is going on as a positive, raise them as a child, raise them to be independent, raise them with a lot of love. Because I think the one thing that's also helping Daniel is the fact that it's so positive at home. You don't have to wonder whether you're loved. It's very obvious.
No. Love is what every human being needs, right?
Mhm.
Love, yes. So Daniel, from day one, Dad is into sports. I'm into athletics as a Kenyan. Daniel supports athletics. Ooh, Olympics, we don't support Britain. We are so Kenyan. Dad is a cyclist. So from what God, Daniel has always been in sports. He's been out. So he's in Taekwondo now. Because you don't just sit at home.
Everybody does something.
Do something with your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, as we conclude this, it feels like quite a lot to balance being the CEO of Tidy Times, advocacy work, motherhood in a new country, and in between countries.
Yes.
What do you do?
Well, I'm a go-getter from that is why I left Kenya, because I wanted to study in London and that. So when I had to give up work, I thought I cannot sit at home. I've always worked. So I started a small business, housekeeping, villages around the UK, and the customers started phoning, and I thought, okay, there must be an opportunity, and the Kikuyu in me, they capitalized in the UK, and we started all over, and here we are 10 years on. So that's because I'm, my diary, I can fix it around Daniel and hospital appointments and this and that. So that gives me flexibility. I'm also able to employ other parents with children with disability or parents looking for part-time work, because I understand the struggles of motherhood, and because we don't really have house managers over there. So juggling is a thing a lot of career women we struggle with, and then I end up leaving our jobs. But my positivity is that I ended up with a business.
That's really nice. And we do hope that everybody does find that silver lining. It can be difficult and challenging.
No, there's always a silver lining in life. Don't do a pity party. Don't do war unto me, because God has brought each and every one of us on earth for a purpose. For a purpose, whether you are abled or abled differently. God has a purpose for you.
And that's really great. So our last question to you is going to be, what does it mean when you say give a child an opportunity personally to you, and how does that translate to how you live life?
For me, everybody has potential. Like I said, don't have a pity party. Everybody has a potential within themselves, whether you're able differently or not. Someone might say you're a C student, but if you work hard, you can be a B student or an A student, because the potential is in you. Paralympians, they win gold medals because they put effort into that. Just because they don't have limbs doesn't mean they cannot get a gold medal or medal in the Olympics. So everybody has potential. And you have to just dig down deep and find what's your God-given talent and work with it.
Oh, wow, that's really nice. It's been very inspiring and very heartwarming to listen to Lucy Wang'ombe and what she said about raising her fund, building a business, and building a charity organization, and all this advocacy work. I like the fact that it's not only in the United Kingdom, despite having been there for 30 years, you do trace your roots back to Kenya and look forward to giving back. That's really insightful, and I think everyone should actually embrace that. Thank you very much for listening to us, and thank you for making the time. We look forward to seeing you in August, and all the best in your event. Ambia watu wa Murang'a na Embakasi kwa heri.
Embakasi people, Embakasi village, Embakasi East. Yes, we are bringing exciting things there. So I'm looking forward to working with all of you, reconnecting with all of you. Yeah, shags, yes. I must confess I don't go shags mostly, but I will. We have a brilliant MP, Kihaver. So Kenya, we're doing great. We're going places. TVET is on the forefront. We've got this first Kenya National Qualification
Conference.
Awards conference at Ole Sereni, 12th to 14th of May. So I'm so excited, which is why I came. And other than that, Kenya's going in the right direction, TVET-wise, and also disability inclusion, like we have our Senator, Crystal Lasige, keeps saying, doing great things. So as a people, hey, support each other. Let's not shun our disability community, embrace them in every aspect, in our churches, in our neighborhoods, in our schools. And yes, looking forward to seeing all of you in August once we have a venue and a date. And yes, let's see what happens.
Thank you very much for staying with us until the end. Follow all our social media platforms, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, for all updates on matters the diaspora and for more insights on the Diaspora Spotlight. If you do have a story that you would like to share with us or something that you would like to tell the world, please email us or leave a comment and we will get back to you and we can have such an insightful interview like we've heard with Lucy Wang'ombe. Until next time, it's been me, Maria Njoroge. Kwaherini.